The beaches of Normandy are quiet now, but they hold a story embedded in the books of history. The Normandy landings in 1944 are of the most significant events in war. This massive attack, called Operation Overlord, was the largest invasion by sea ever. The success of this important mission would help secure the Allies a foothold in Western Europe. The meticulous planning of this operation began in 1943 following the retreat of the Germans from the east. This operation would come to be known as the most important factor for the defeat of Nazis. The fight to liberate Europe began on the beaches of Normandy. Over 150,000 Allied troops landed on the beaches, with tons of ships and planes helping them. It took incredible planning to make it all work. Months of careful planning with weather, manpower and plans, all as factors, were to be considered. Operation Overlord, the name for the Battle of Normandy, was a risky plan planned by the Allied High Command under the Supreme Commander Dwight David Eisenhower. The invasion of Europe could have arrived from different areas, but Normandy was to be chosen due to the large area and comparatively inferior defences. But the Germans knew Normandy was important too. They built strong defences along the coast called the Atlantic Wall. So the Allies came up with a clever plan. Operation Neptune, the part of the plan for the ships, involved landing on 5 different beaches: Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno and Sword. They wanted to surprise the Germans and take control of the beaches. The Allies knew that they had to deceive the German command, which they succeeded in. Operation Fortitude was a secret plan to make the Germans think the invasion would happen somewhere else, at the port of Pas-de-Calais. They used fake tanks, fake radio messages and even spies to mislead the German High Command, and generals like von Rundstedt believed the Pas-de-Calais theory. On June 6, 1944, the future of Europe was uncertain. Operation Overlord, after all that planning, began with an attack on the beaches of Normandy. Soldiers from Britain, USA, Canada and other minorities stormed the beaches. Before sunrise, thousands of paratroopers jumped from planes behind enemy lines. They had to take control of important bridges and roads to stop the Germans from sending more soldiers to the beaches. At the same time, a huge number of ships, including big battleships and smaller landing craft, headed towards Normandy. The Allied aerial forces and naval support weakened the German defenders in their outposts and bunkers. At Omaha Beach, many American soldiers were killed and wounded by German guns. But the massive manpower managed to break through and establish a beachhead. Securing these beaches would prove to be of historical importance as the Allies furthered their advances eventually till the Rhine. D-Day, the biggest invasion by sea in history, was a major turning point in World War II. The Allies landing in Normandy on June 6, 1944, started the process of liberating Western Europe from the Nazis. Landing in Normandy was just the beginning of a long fight to free France and defeat the Nazis. The Battle of Normandy went on for weeks after D-Day. Freeing Paris in August 1944 was a huge victory. The French capital was free after 4 years under Nazi control. Winning in Normandy changed the war in Europe and helped end World War II faster. The Normandy landings were overseen by key commanders such as General Dwight D. Eisenhower for the Allies and Field Marshal Erwin Rommel for the Germans. However, the significant victory came at heavy cost. The Allies suffered approximately 10,000 casualties, including 4,414 confirmed dead, while German casualties were estimated to be between 4,000 and 9,000. Rommel, who was in charge of defending the Atlantic Wall, was not present during the initial landings as he had returned to Berlin for a break. Hitler's reaction to the invasion was initially one of delight after he woke up. The delay in transferring the Panzer Corps to Normandy was a critical mistake, since Hitler believed the real invasion was to come from further north, which was why troops from Norway were not recalled and reserves were not transferred. The use of codes played a crucial role in the success of the operation. The Allies used a variety of coded messages to coordinate the invasion and deceive the Germans about the true landing site. These efforts were part of the larger Operation Bodyguard, which aimed to mislead the German High Command and ensure the success of the Normandy landings. The bravery of resistance fighters, the ingenuity of codebreakers and the resilience of the medics and support staff all contributed to the success of D-Day. These individuals remind us that every cog in the machine is essential, no matter how small. The legacy of D-Day is very significant in the lessons of history as one of courage and bravery on both sides fighting for whom they think are good.